Teacher Chatter.
This is Robin.
And Jill.
And here we are, 2 weeks in a row.
I know. It's, it's just the good life.
It's the good life.
When I get to be around Robin Hammonds every week, I don't think you can live better than that.
You know what?
Really.
Is there a t-shirt out there that says something like that?
I'll make one. I'm with Robin once a week. Jealous?
That's enough.
That's enough.
One day is enough.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, highs and lows?
Well, you know what? I'm going to jump right in today.
Okay.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the snow day. We had it.
I
Listen,
was worried about you.
Listen,
I was worried.
I'm not going to lie to you. There was a little bit I was worried.
Yeah.
Especially because
There was nothing?
I had some serious trash talking on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
And I was very,
You're confident.
Very confident.
You were. And I was like,
I almost sold you.
Careful.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And I just I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in. And you know what? Even the day before, I had haters, which is my low.
Yeah.
There's some snow people haters out there.
Snow people haters.
Yeah.
So they
Snow
hate
day
snow day.
I don't know
haters.
if they hate snow days or if they just don't want to take a chance. They can't get happy.
Well,
they don't want to set they're up for self or disappointment.
Yeah.
Because listen,
I'm a little that way. We had a conversation in my class today actually about guys, don't ever anticipate the snow day because when it comes, then you get to be happy and surprised. But if it doesn't come and you get your hopes up, you're sad.
But you know what? Like my good friend Nikki Garner told this office on Monday.
Yeah.
The thing about Robin, we're going to shun her if there's no snow day. And she said, but the worst part about her is she'll come in and she'll feel bad for a minute, but she'll be looking forward to the Friday snow day. And I was like, you know what? That's true.
There's not going to be there.
I don't think there will be Friday.
No.
I do think we might not be here Tuesday, though.
So are you going to make another prediction? Okay, wait. Oh, here's another prediction.
If you're listening to this, which comes out on Monday.
Yeah.
We're already off school because it's President's Day or some special day. What day is it? Martin Luther King?
Yep.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yep.
Okay. We're off already.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a good chance we won't be here on Tuesday. Because listen, Sunday and Monday, we're going to get some stuff. It is so cold. I heard Ron Hurst say they can't even treat the roads when they're that cold. There's nothing they can do about it.
They can't even treat those roads when it's that cold.
No. So when it's that cold.
Yeah.
So if it's something, we even have it on Tuesday.
Okay. Well.
So you know what? I'm just going to put that out there. Now, I'm not going to stay as confident because I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was getting panicky. And people around me kept saying, listen, I'm afraid you're wrong. And you know what I kept saying? I believe and I have hope.
And Nicole. I was
Nicole,
going to feel worse for Nicole because you had put her out there so much as the snow day guru.
Listen.
And so I was sitting there and I mentioned a few people. I'm like, Robin even brought Nicole into this. Nicole didn't even know.
Listen,
and now
I was worried for her too. But listen, I trust her that much.
Wow.
I don't just throw around. Well, I do.
Did you guys give money to the people that called it? Is that what happened? You were like, listen.
I did not. But
or
listen,
maybe they listened to the podcast.
Listen, I went through the reasons why. There was a lot. We had a lot going for me, and I have to say, I did tell my principal, he is my hype snow day guy.
Yeah,
and he's got to stop because he's already got me on a 5-day almost.
Oh my gosh!
It didn't even take much.
Oh wow!
I think this last Friday, I think we'll be in school because I think we will. There's a little tiny hope. I got a little hope though.
We're in school. We're in school. By the time people listen to this, they'll already know we've been in school.
Well, you've been home and you had a good time. But either way, okay, we're just going to let it go. We'll talk about that the next week.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's the thing. And you know what? My low is back to the snow day haters.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I know you'll be this ridiculous, but I did wear a snowman sweatshirt on that Monday because I want to do everything I could to support the snow. And then my friend Kalina Porter, she got a snow day white elephant gift, things you had to do.
Yeah.
And one was put an Elsa picture outside your door.
She did that.
So we spread it out, and there were some people that said, no, we don't want them. I feel like if you said no, what did it hurt to put it outside your door?
That's weird.
A whole grade level here did that, said no. I'm not going to put out any names, but you know who you were.
Oh,
so really you shouldn't have had a snow day. Should you? If you're not willing to put in the work. Now, my friend Carrie Pergy, guess what? She salted her sidewalk, her driveway before to make sure we had a snow day. And guess what? Thank you, Pergy. I appreciate it.
Wow.
We're dedicated over here at North.
Yeah. I dedicated in every way.
Yes.
Every way.
So anyway, what's your high and low? Enough about snow days.
Yeah, well, kind of.
4 to 5 day weekend.
My high is gonna go with the snow day too, and just being able to enjoy that day. We did have a moment. We still obviously could get out, so because there wasn't really a lot, right? So we got out on the road.
I think everybody got out. Yeah. Except Maddie said to me,
still got
Mom,
out.
all my people are out. But Maddie wasn't feeling good. And I said, listen, you needed a home. I was worried about you staying home. But yes, I think a lot of people got out.
And so we did.
It wasn't much.
And
it was very windy though.
Yes.
And blizzardy looking at one point.
Mm-hmm, very much so. I'm good with the snow day.
Yeah, me too.
So, but on that day, because we were still able to get out, we went to one of those bin stores. Oh. Right, and the one in our town has a 50-cent day.
Oh, was it 50-cent day?
It was 50-cent day.
Oh my gosh,
Tuesdays are 50-cent day.
I love bin stores.
And I went in there, and last time I went in there, they had really nice folders, like the folders that are like over $3. And I was able to get 30 of them for $1.
No.
Yes, they said get 30 for $1, and I was like, sweet. So I went in this week. I'm like, I feel like I need to get more because I feel like I need to spread the love more. And she said, now you're a teacher? And I said, yeah. And she went and grabbed a box from the back, a really big box from the back, and said, you can have all of these and any other ones you can find for $5.
Oh my goodness.
And so they're not all like the super nice ones, but I would say that I may have thousands. So anybody needing a folder, come to me. I'm probably most likely going to be, no, I shouldn't say most likely. I'm going to be donating a good chunk of them to our school, like supplies, stuff for the new kids and kids and stuff.
I love a good bin store.
Oh my gosh.
As much as I love snow days, I like them both the same.
I love those. I was talking to a teacher today, and one teacher didn't know anything about it, and I told them, and then they're like, ooh, and they were curious. Another was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to dig through stuff. And I'm do. It's like Easter meets Black Friday.
Yeah. And especially when you go on a cheaper day.
Yes.
What can you, listen.
Robin, I bought a dinosaur blow-up costume for 50 cents.
How can you beat that?
You can't beat that.
Listen, I went to the bin digging store in Springfield.
Yeah.
And I got shoes literally from Maddie.
Yes.
I paid $10. So I went on expensive day and paid $10. I got home. They showed up the exact shoe on my ad on my Facebook. Target $42.99. The exact shoe.
That's what I'm saying.
The exact shoe for $10.
So that's my high. I love a good deal, and that was great. My low, and there's another high I can put in there in a second, but and this actually goes to our flow for this week. Okay. And I say it's like a combination of a low and a high. So I am going back to school.
She's educating herself.
I'm a lifelong learner here.
You know what?
I'm working on a certification currently. And I haven't been in school for a decade. Mm-hmm. Now, the snow day was amazing because I had new assignments. And I'm in 2 classes right now. And so I did most of my assignments that day. Amazing. But this is the low part of it is this. And I guess we'll get into some of these things with our conversation today. But I'm used to being the boss and knowing the expectations.
Yeah.
And I am paranoid that I am doing something wrong because they're all online classes.
Yes.
And I'm paranoid I'm doing something wrong all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And you realize like how sometimes we think things are clear and it's not clear.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Which I think kind of winds into today.
Okay.
Now, before we get in there, we do have Facebook still. And we do still have Instagram. And if you want to see our faces and what we look like on any given week, you can check us out on YouTube.
Yeah. Good times.
Yep. All right. So this week.
So we are going to talk about being lifetime learners. Okay. And so going back to school, no matter what it's for, if you're going back to get your master's, your doctorate, your specialist, or a certificate, there's any of these things that you want to do. And I was actually thinking about this. Teachers are probably the most educated profession, honestly.
We're up there
because we keep you get your degree and then everybody gets a master's mostly. I would say 90% of people get a master's anymore.
Well, and then if you don't even count like your continued education,
your PD all the time,
professional development stuff that monthly. We go to, yes,
all the things, and then people get their doctorate, they get their specialist, they get certificates. Like it's a constant thing, and so so there is to say a lot about that because we really do.
Yeah.
So when in your career
did you get your master's? Like, give us a little background on that for you.
So this is a big thing, and this is this is some good advice from a wise woman.
Good advice from Robin.
I like it. So I actually graduated from college.
She about said high school.
But I was like, from college, and I started teaching, and I started my master's right away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome idea. Best idea you can do. Do this. Okay. Don't do what I do next. So I started it, and I was going to get in administration. So I had probably about 12 hours maybe in it. And then I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to move back here when Abby was born to be close to family to watch my kids because I'm from here.
So that put a
halt.
Boom.
So I stopped going to school.
Yeah.
And I probably did. I went back and finished getting my master's, which I had to start over because I waited too long.
Oh.
Probably 5 years ago. Now, I will tell you. So I have only had my master's probably 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Yes. It was the hardest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
When you've not been in school and not writing papers, here I am really encouraging you. So this is super nice.
Fine. Don't worry about
it. But I am not the best writer anyway. But when you're not in that frame of mind of studying, taking notes, it is so hard.
Were you like having to go to class, or
I had to go to class? I went to class. Listen, online. I'm not an online girl. I just couldn't. Yeah. We both are. But we're a people person. Like, we want to get to know everybody in our group. I want to know. And so that, luckily, I did my master's through the school. Mm-hmm. So it's nice because we were a cohort. So we started together and we finished together. Yeah. And I made lifelong friends from that too, because we, they're in the district and really got to know people. But it was really hard going back to school when you haven't been to school in so long. It really is. Like, sometimes I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not smart enough to do this. Like, I'm like, and mine wasn't even that hard. And it was, what I mean? So I think that if you're going back to get a master's, listen, first of all, if you didn't do it right away, it's never too late.
Yeah.
I graduated. I have my master's.
She graduated. If Robin can graduate, you can too.
But if you are just a new teacher, I think sometimes we think, oh, we should just jump right back in, get it done.
So my story starts out pretty similar to yours, because I started my master's right after I started teaching. I think it was within that year that I first started teaching, and I had a program where it was a cohort group, and my master's is in school counseling, but I did finish mine, and I'm not.
No, listen,
I know,
no shame,
but. During that time, I think sometimes you don't realize how busy you are, because during that time period for me, I was a brand new teacher. Mm-hmm. I got pregnant.
See,
I had a baby.
Yeah.
And I was also working. I was doing, I was a 31 consultant, for anybody who knows anything about the bags. And that's when they were popular. Oh, so I was having 3 to 4 parties a month. Oh my
gosh, girl.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, now that I look back, I'm like,
how'd you do it?
Whoa.
I know.
But it was, I guess, prepared me. You don't know my,
yes.
I do highly recommend finish it as soon as and you're in the mode. I had my master's now for 13 years, I guess, or something like that. And now going back to get the certification, it takes. I'm going to end up having about 15 hours before the next school year, and it's just trying to get my head wrapped around it. Really.
And getting back in the hang of doing doing it, knowing the expectations, and things change a lot. You know what I mean? It's like the expectations of what they expect in the school is different than it was back then. You know what I mean? There's just so much to do now. I know you've only done a week of this.
Yeah.
How do you like the online?
Okay. So that's one thing. Yeah, I've definitely talked about.
Because that is very popular. Majority of people do online from now.
So the things I don't like about it is what you've mentioned. Like, I like to get to know people and all of those different things. And I like for my professors or the people I'm working with to know me and know like my character and who I am and all of those things, because I think you can just become a face. Like you're just a name on there, even though they have an introductory video, all of those things. So I do not, so I don't like that part of it.
I don't like that either.
There's a lot of different things, but the thing I like is I get to do it when I need to. Like, I do it at my convenience.
Yes, which is nice.
Right? So there's pros and there's cons with it. I'm only a week into it, but I definitely see some things that are stressful about it, and that's okay.
It's okay, because you can do hard things.
I can do hard things, and like I said, I will be done in July.
Yeah.
so I can do it. It's totally worth that step over on the scale, right?
When you're rich, we'll call you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like all $700 for the year or whatever it is.
It costs you $40,000.
Yeah, that's right.
Just kidding.
So yeah, I think there's definitely pros and cons to either way with that. I'm glad, like with our schedule and trying to get all the boys' games and everything, it would be really hard for me to miss so much with having like class.
Go to class.
Yeah, once or twice a week. And so the people that are going to classes when their kids are older, I have a lot of respect for them with that too, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of jumping in, like I think one of my, just like I kind of listed the things that I'm looking at here with it, and one of it is the teacher's expectations. I think that is hard because as teachers, we are the ones that have the expectations.
Yeah.
And now we're the students. That's crazy. And my son Nash, actually, he said, how does a teacher teach a bunch of teachers?
I know.
He's like, that seems so weird. I'm like, yeah, I would imagine so. But with the online setup, I have to email them.
If you have questions.
Yeah, like questions. And then they have like 24 hours to reply.
See?
I mean, you can call, I guess, but it's just, that's the hard part. And then one of my classes, I think they switched over professors or something. And so that's another thing. Like,
so this is someone new doing this one?
Yeah. And I think maybe they've done it before, but it's hard whenever like I'm on Canvas is what they have it on. And it's like, I had a reflection. I had like an article and questions to answer, an article and questions. And there were 4 of those. Well, I started doing that. And then I looked at the rubric and then it was like, in your introductory, you need this, and you need a conclusion. I'm like, honestly, I don't even know if I did the assignment right.
Oh, no.
So I messaged her and I'm like, and it was like 6 pages.
You're writing? You wrote 6 pages?
Well, it was APA, which means, I mean, it's double spaced, but
yes.
But yes, full 6 pages. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, what did you not mean?
But then I'm
starting to like
what I'm hoping, because I messaged and was just like, hey, if this is too much, let me know.
Yeah.
If it's not enough, let me know. And I'm like, please don't tell me it's not enough. And I'm like, and if it's not organized the way you want, let me know.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to do things wrong.
I feel like we need to get a professor that does the online thing to see, do they really read it, or is it one of those things you just do and you get credit for? You know what I mean?
Know. Yeah.
We'll find out.
I guess we'll find out. I don't know. And
you haven't got your answer yet? No, because this was yesterday.
Yeah, so I haven't had an answer yet, but that's hard.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing them face to face where I can go up and be like, hey, or the questions pop up like I have, all the information in front of me, and in class you are able to talk.
Yes.
And you don't know the people in your class. Like,
how many people's in your class?
One of them, there's 15 people, and then the other one, I don't know.
Oh.
The other one doesn't have one of them has a section that has like people in class or whatever, and you can see all of them. The other one does not. So I don't know.
And what's so bad is you don't even know the people in your class to say, hey, what did you do? Like, that's what's so hard.
Yes. Okay, this is another.
Okay.
So I teach ELA. I teach writing.
Yeah.
I should know how to do all of these things, right? So, but I'm not the best at it. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I preach so heavily to my students about plagiarism that I am also super paranoid.
So you're like having to change everything up because you don't want to plagiarize.
Yeah, and I do. I mean, you would anyways, right? But then I'm like,
maybe.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I am, but that's where I sit.
I know.
I'm like, so I turned in one of my papers, and I guess they do have like an originality check on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, which I do too for my class stuff. And then afterwards, and it had like, I could go and look at it, and it had like 1% or something. I'm like, I didn't plagiarize anything in here. I'm like, what did I do wrong? And I looked back at it, and it was something I had cited, and it was saying where I'd gotten the information. So it's not plagiarized. Yeah. And so I'm like, please don't just look and see that it's something. And it's not, because it was actually quoting what the thing had said. Anyway, I just sat there and I was like, listen, it's stressful.
Yeah.
A little stressful. Sorry. I'm sorry for anybody listening. I'm having to get back in the mode, though. This is why you need to do it quickly. And I swore I would never go back to school.
And here you are.
And here I am.
But I think this is an important discussion because I think people also don't realize, like we hear, oh, you're going back to school, and someone like, oh, they're going back to school.
Yeah.
But it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we also need to give people grace and be like, wow, and encourage them, be like, you
Yeah.
know what? Way to go back to class. Way to do this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's not easy.
And I think a lot of times people hide, and it's okay. I'm going to do it too. Like, I'm not going to let everybody know how life is going with all this.
I know.
But you try to hide like the stress of these
of it.
things. And that's why I'm being open with this in this
Yeah.
moment, is just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's the reality, but I can do hard things.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I did all of the work in one day.
But that's when you have to do it.
Yes.
I'll never forget one of my classes. We were writing our paper, and so the professor always like came around and they talked to you.
Yeah.
So I made sure I picked one thing that I would ask a quick question and make sure I asked that question, and then she was done with me. And she never came back around. And at one point she said, oh yeah, I've already read Robin's paper. She had never read my paper, but I was very, very smart. I made sure I asked some kind of question every week.
Yeah.
And so I was on her
radar. She'd already talked to you.
Yes. So she thought she had read my paper, and guess what?
Did fine.
She did fine.
Yeah.
So, but I was in person.
I know.
So see?
I know. It's all right. And I think part of it is too, though, you have to let go of some things.
Yes.
So the piece about them not knowing you not knowing, I cannot spend a bunch of time investing and trying to get them to know me.
No. And you'll never see these people again.
Probably
and part of this makes it easier when you don't know them, because I think that pressure, I did it where some of our administrators were teaching our class.
Yeah.
And then you don't want them to seem like you're dumb, like a dum-dum. You know what I mean? So that makes it worse when they know you well. And you're like, when you're presenting or writing, they're going to be like, she works in our district. Like, let's not renew her contract because she can't, so that there is that's the negative about knowing people and getting it, is that you have that pressure also of like, you want to come across intelligent and that you deserve to be.
I still want to be intelligent though. Like, we've got these discussion boards, and now everybody can see that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need this person in some other school. And I know that's what I've got to let go of. Like, it's okay. Yeah. Yesterday I started reading one of somebody's posts and I was like, oh, that's good. I hadn't thought about that. And I was like, I kind of went totally against what they just said in my post. And I was like, and I thought, who cares?
No.
I was like, what's it matter?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. And it's good. Like, we should have differing views, and it's like, that's the whole idea of the discussion board. And so those are the parts that I'm like,
so can you not see other people's posts till you post?
So in one of my classes, this is like the balance.
I think that's what's hard too.
Yeah. In one of my classes, you cannot see anybody else's post until you post.
Which I like that, because then
In my other class, you can see as soon as somebody else posts.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciated that too, because I didn't understand the directions.
To see an example. And because you know what, I'm a learner that I need to see something. After it, I can go on my own.
Yes.
But I like to see what the expectation is. I'm a visual learner like that.
And right now, there's also one of my classes where I thought we were supposed to do one post. Then I read something else on another section that made me think each time I did it was supposed to be 3 separate posts. But then I turned in my one post, and a girl had 3 up.
Oh.
So I went back, and you can edit them.
Good.
I went back and edited my post and added my other 2 in there. And I'm like,
see?
But then I'm like, she could have been doing it wrong. But because
at least you have somebody
hers.
there that looks just like they're both doing it wrong. I know. See, now, but you know what? It goes back to, we have to understand where our kids come from. I think
100%.
sometimes we do the same thing all the time, that we know the expectations and we think these kids should understand this.
Yes.
Listen, sometimes what we think and we think is so clear is not clear. And that's a good, and that's why I always think it's good to be a lifetime learner, is because you do go back and it makes you think, it makes you a better teacher, because you realize, okay, maybe what I'm saying is not clear. I know, because that's how I even feel when I have to sub sometimes, and I read people's sub plans and I'm like, this is the crappiest. I don't even know. I'm a teacher and I don't even know what they're asking. Yeah. But it's a good reminder, because sometimes we just like, oh yeah, this is so easy to understand, because we do it every day.
Yes, and I 100% agree. I had a lot more respect for my students after my day 1 of online learning. And I think it also made me go with, this is why this isn't the best scenario for kids.
Yeah. Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, we talk about online learning versus this. And can I be this? So this was my thinking time. Like, can I be successful in that setting and still learn some things? Yes. But I am not getting everything I need, because I say I'm not getting everything I need. I'm not getting the social interaction that is vital. And can I form connections and maybe be able to maybe, but it's not going to be the same.
No.
can I learn things? Yes. But if I'm able to talk to the professor and actually have questions answered in real time, I wouldn't be messing up this.
No.
And maybe they aren't even going to tell me I messed up. Well, then I don't even know the failure and how to solve or problem solve through that. And so that was the other thing I learned. And I'm an educated individual, still having these things go on. And anyway, I 100% agree. It's given me an understanding of my students better. And I think that is definitely key with it. So probably the last biggest thing for me, well, there's two, is balancing my work life. Now I'm in school, and then my personal life.
I know.
It's hard enough with the work and my home life, but then you throw in the school. And so and this is what I did when yesterday we did have the snow day, so that helped. But I'm waking up even earlier to work on my stuff in the morning, and doing as much as I can then when my kids are sleeping, so that I still can go to their events and not stress. But what I know about myself, and this is where I'm going to have to let go again, is my to-do list. So I know every week I have a to-do list that one of them starts on Sunday and one of them starts on Monday, because each class sends stuff out on those days. I like to get my stuff done.
And be done with it.
I want to get done with it. So I'm going to have to fight a little bit of not.
It's okay if you don't.
If I don't get it done within the first 2 days that it's been assigned.
Yeah.
Now we do have next week. We also have you guys are hopefully listening on Monday. We have today off, so I am working, I'm sure, on my stuff,
and
because
you'll have
I have
Tuesday. So that'll be nice for you. Don't work too hard on Monday, because you'll have Tuesday also.
But I do know that's part of it. But I'm also on a countdown. I'm like, okay, I've got 8 weeks and 1 week down.
Yeah, I mean by next week you'll down to 6.
I know.
I mean, that is a nice way of thinking.
And these classes are 8-week classes. So in 8 weeks' time, I'm gonna have 6 college hours.
I mean, that is nice.
It's gonna be amazing.
That is really nice.
And I know my professors, they've been great answering questions and stuff, even before I got into the program and stuff. So I know if there's things that come up that they would be willing. It's just you hate to reach out to them
nonstop. Yeah. But they're probably used to it. That's the only way they communicate.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, so shout out to everybody that is currently, being those lifelong learners.
And if you're thinking about it, do it. What do you have got to lose?
And guys, it's really, I know. Well, you can do the hard things, and it is worth it. I've had my master's for, like I said, 13 plus years, and it was an amazing decision. Now, I don't know that I'm going to use that particular degree, but it's paid for itself in that amount of time. Yeah. And I've had that my entire career. Mine's in school counseling, and my entire career, I mean, you're a counselor as a teacher. Yeah. And so I've used all of those tools.
Yes, I agree.
And then kind of going back and the things that I'm learning now, I'm excited. Like, I actually am enjoying what I'm learning.
Yes. And you can apply it.
Yes. So. It's just the stress of, like, honestly, I want to be a good student.
I know.
So it is. It's a balance. And so I do encourage people to do it, even though I maybe am not painting it in a great light. Yeah. I am excited about it, and
actually, she made a really good point that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
Another reason is to get it early is because it does put you on the higher pay scale for a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me, I haven't been doing it that long, so I only had by the time I retired, 10 years of it.
Yeah.
Where you have 20 years of it.
By the time I retire, I'll have had it. I mean, if I retire at 28, how many years are we really in? It depends on my age.
Usually about 29.
I think mine might be 28 because of how things fall. Yeah. Or maybe because I'm going to buy a half a year or whatever. And because my husband retires 6 years before me. That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother
story. But I think mine's 28. And so I realistically, for 25 years, will have been on the higher pay scale.
I mean, so I never even thought about that, but that is another reason to just get it done.
Yeah. And if you're getting it later, that's okay. It's worth it. You'll get a nice big jump.
Because guess what? That worked for me. And honestly,
Well, could you have had this position if you wouldn't have had it? Your master's?
Yes, I think I could have.
Okay, they would have given.
I think I could have. But I kind of make up my own rules, so I don't know. But yeah.
It's fluid.
And it is hard because you know what? I was moving. My circumstance just did not work out. I did not find one to do right away.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what's best for me back then. So that's okay if you didn't get your master's right then. It's okay. It's never too late.
How many do you have? Master's plus how many hours do you have?
I don't even know.
Maybe you're supposed to be on the next scale, or you know what?
Close?
Yeah, maybe you only need one more class.
And I can take a class with you.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Okay,
Listen, you'll have to write my papers for me.
Go-
You'll have to write my papers.
We can talk. I won't write your papers for you, Robin, but at least we'll know what we'll both be doing the same thing.
Listen, I don't think Dave really wants me to go back to school because
for one class.
He had to really help me.
One class, Robin, and you would get another $700 a year.
You know what? Maybe I'll think about it. No. Anyway,
man, that would be awesome.
That's all those people need is for Jill and I to be in the same class together. Even the people from out of state doesn't know what these people around here already know what their buddy doesn't do. Oh my gosh.
Best idea of the week, right?
So you know what? If you're back in school right now, hey, we're thinking of you. We're proud of you. If you're thinking about it, hey, jump in and do it. What do you have to lose? Give it a try. You can do hard things. And no matter what, if you're done with school, be a lifelong learner. Always be reading. Always go to PD. Always try to do something to make yourself better. That's the most important thing.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So I just, my Maddie, her and a good friend, Lainey, they've decided to read the Bible a chapter, 2 chapters every night. Nice. Together, and then they send each other their notes and stuff like that.
I love that.
And they talk about it. So it's really been a great opportunity because with Maddie doing it, she wants to talk to us about it a little bit. Well, last night she was behind a few days. So she said, Mom, will you read it to me? And read it for me and I'll read along and stuff. So I said, yeah, snow day. That's what you can do for snow day. Bring out the Bible. We love it. But as I was reading, we were reading Romans 8 because she's reading Romans. And I came across this. That's one of my favorite verses. And it's just a great reminder. And so I'm going to read it and I'm going to talk about it. It's Romans 8:26. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. And I love this scripture so much because I think sometimes it is such a good reminder. And my husband and I, we have read through this Romans many times. In fact, when I was a teenager, I did Bible quizzing and I read Romans, but it never hit me till the last 6 months, Dave read this and he's like, man, this is such a comfort. But I love it because sometimes we go through hard times and hard things. And sometimes we don't feel like we know the right words to pray. When you're going through a really hard time, or even when your friend's going through hard times and you're praying for them, but you just do not have the words. I thought, what a comfort that we don't have to know the words. Yeah. We don't have to know what to say because the God sends the Holy Spirit to intercede for us. And he takes our concerns and our thoughts to God without us even having to say a word. And I thought there might be someone today that is praying through things or feel like they're prayed out or they don't have the words or they're overwhelmed, that you just need to comfort to know that God sends the Holy Spirit to intercede for you when you don't know how to pray. Yeah. And it's just such a good reminder. And so when we were reading that last night, I thought, you know what, for some reason it's laid on my heart and it may not be for anyone, but just a reminder for myself, but it might be one of you that are really struggling and not knowing, or maybe you're one that doesn't even pray very often and you are not, but you're going through something overwhelming. I want you to know that the Holy Spirit understands that and he's sending his prayer up to God for you and he cares enough for you to do that. And it's a great reminder. So
it is. Well, and we all have those moments. I think sometimes we feel like everybody else's life or everything else is going right. And it's not the case all the time. There's a lot of times people hide it really well. And they've got a lot going on in their lives, but like I said, the Holy Spirit knows. Yeah, they're interceding, understands those grumblings. I mean, whatever. Yeah, just the I don't even know what to say. Like understands our true heart and our being, and that's amazing. That's what the deal is with the amazing God that we have.
It is. So. We're so thankful. So, well, you know what? If you're hearing on Monday, I know you're relaxing because it's your day off. But listen. Run to the store, buy some hot chocolate and some chocolate chips because you're going to be there again tomorrow. I'm going to believe. I'm going to make. Now, listen, I'm not throwing Nicole under because I have not talked to Nicole yet. So I don't want to throw her under the bus, but I'm going to spread some winter cheer.
Okay. Winter cheer.
Winter cheer.
I would take it the next week. We already have a day off next.
I mean, listen, I can't. I'm not Mother Nature.
I can't
promise. Like, I can't just throw up a snow day. It has to become me.
I really enjoy the days to work on my schoolwork.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right. Well, this is Listen.
Teacher Chatter.
This is Robin.
And Jill.
Have a great week.